right now, but that's alright. Y'all know I start down the street, and I'm early. I'll explain while I'm early. Let's see if they saw me coming earlier. So, it'll be a little awkward because I have it on a new tripod. And I didn't want to do a long setup, so it's mostly legs are all the way out except for a little bit. I hope going early didn't mess up. Whoa. It's Saturday, so everybody's chilling. I wonder if they got body riders outside. Let's see. And they tried the plain clothes in Hollywood. I wonder if they're doing it here. One of the reasons I wanted the tripod. Oh, somebody's here. Hey, yo. It's gonna be a little awkward for a second because I got the tripod as I was pulling out of my driveway. It got delivered. So I have the phone already on it, so we didn't have to have a long setup. Oh, the Hitzels are here. I hope that oh, they got their table out. Watch this. This is gonna be awesome. Awesome. We get to make them pack it up. Let's see. Get your stopwatch out. All right. Oh, we got young boy again too. Hello. All right. So they got their e-reader and their books out. They're trying to sell people. I'm gonna stand right here. Hi guys. What's up? I've got some things to talk about today. Nope, it's a cult. Don't go there. Nope. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about the child abuse we were discussing online today. Because I'm angry today. I find out about what auditor training really is. Auditor training is when they train their children age 10 or up how to interview or audit adults. And they have to discuss adult sexual acts with adults at the ages of 11, 12, 13, and 14 in order to learn how to be an auditor. And the person that makes the list for the auditor training tries to find the most disgusting, vile things they can come up with on purpose because they want you to be uncomfortable so you can learn how to mask being uncomfortable. Aaron and Serge were discussing it today on their show on my way here, and I'd never heard it put quite the way they put it today. They knew YouTube was probably going to demonetize them, but they didn't care. Serge was 12 and 13 when he went through auditor training in a hotel, in a room with a man that told him about his abuse of children, his essay to children, including his own children. And being an auditor, you can't leave that room until the person you are auditing is done and ready to go. And it can be hours. And this man did this to Serge, I believe, over and over again. And that's child abuse. Children cannot consent to these things. Their family puts them in 12, 13, and 14. And by the time they're 15 and 16, they're auditors. They are auditing adults. Sorry for the noise, y'all. And that's what all this is for, is to get more people in, to train them to be auditors, to make them work 80 to 100 hours a week for $47 a week if you're in Sea Org, and not much more when you're staff. Most staff have to have a second job or a spouse so they can afford to live. That is not fun. That is not something to give your life to. And it's child abuse. And Serge and Aaron specifically said at the time, being in the bubble, being in Scientology, you know, he knew it was uncomfortable because when he had to do the auditor training, they gave him a cadet that was 13 years old. And he had to say the most vile and disgusting things to her every time they trained, and she would go back to her room and bawl. No child should be subjected to that. And they don't have a choice because their families put them in there. Out here, if you even text a minor anything like that, you go to jail. Now, can you imagine sitting in a room with somebody for hours and having to hear that when you're 12 or 13 or 14? And if you don't know what it means, you have to look it up. If you don't know what effing is, you have to look it up. Yeah, I'm angry today. I listened to that on the way here, and they put it in such blatant terms that you can't ignore it. That's why I'm here. I said, you know, I've always been pretty PG when I'm here, and you know, I talk to people and I try to stay calm, but what I heard today, and I had heard it before, but they had never put it in those terms, the words that they were using to minors, to children. 12-year-olds shouldn't know what those things are, let alone have to sit with an adult and have to either hear it or say it. And then you're in a room with other auditors, they're all doing the same thing, so you're in public saying these vile, nasty. Serge said because they couldn't say it all, they would have been banned from YouTube. He said just think the worst things on the dark web, and that's what they're going to put on the list of things you need to talk about. It's disgusting. It's child abuse. Like I said, if you did that out here, you'd be in prison. But they get away with it because of the secrecy and their tax-exempt status as a church. Yeah, I'm usually pretty calm when I'm out here, but what I heard today, and to see them out here trying to get people in here to do that, is disgusting. I don't drive. I'm not gone from my house for 6 hours, 3 times a week, just to have a sign. I'm here to make sure no new people join this evil, vile cult. And they have been able to live since the 1950s in secrecy, but they can't any longer. There are hundreds of channels now, either ex-members or protesters, putting out the truth, and people are seeing it. 80% of the people that go by here already know. They already know what they do in here. And everybody in here in the red t-shirts has been through auditor training, or they have trained auditors, and they have sat there and they have done that to minors. And the fact that Scientologist families know that's what their kids are going to go through and do it anyway, they don't think they're kids. They think they were 80-year-old men in their past life. They've lived many lives. They're not children, so it doesn't matter. It matters. Look at Serge and Miriam. And I watched Aaron bawl his eyes out today. 44 years old, I believe he is. Talking about the reason he bawled is because the little girl that he had to say vile and disgusting things to, and he was an adult. And she would go to her room and bawl after every session because it was so disgusting. And a 12 and 13-year-old doesn't know what those things are. So they have to look up the words. I can't even say the words. I'd get arrested. If I repeated what they do to minors in this cult, I would be arrested. And they're ignoring me, and I'm not going to shut up. I watched Aaron the first half of my drive and spent the second half of my drive livid. Thanks, Nazy. Yeah. Luckily, the really bad part of that live was really short. And they do warn you. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for it either because I was just looking for something to listen to on my way here. And you know, Serge brings the facts. He said they put these kids in hotel rooms with adults to do this training, and you have to talk to pedophiles, and you have to talk to artists, and you have to talk to adults that are essaying their children. And a lot of these people don't even know that's happening. Miriam's dad, how many years was it covered up by the church? And everybody knew because they had...
Back it up!
Because they knew he was essaying his little girl. And all they did was talk to him about it and tell him to stop. And then there had to be an auditor that had to talk to him about what he was doing to his child. The trauma, the lifelong trauma that causes, I guarantee you some of these people in here have that trauma. They went through that. Look at Aaron's a pretty strong guy. And he said he worked his hardest at trying not to do auditor training because it was so disgusting and vile and he didn't want to do it. And it wasn't until he talked to Serge and got out that he realized it was child abuse, that it wasn't done outside of the church, that that's not done. If you did that out here in the real world, you'd be in prison. Sticking a child in a room with an adult discussing SA to their own children, and that auditor can't change the look on their face. They can't. That's what the training is all about and why it's so bad. So that you can sit there with no emotions on your face and interrogate an adult about all the bad things that they've done. And then you just put it in a file, you write a report, and that's it. Nobody ever goes to the police because they're told the police are evil and they don't want anything to do with them unless they can use the police on their side. I'm sorry for anybody that's used to me not being like this, but today, you know, it takes me, it takes me a lot to get down here, and I always try to find something to listen to on the way here. And it was the middle of a Saturday. I didn't expect Aaron and Serge to be talking about the child abuse in auditor training. And Serge is a grown adult and married now. He still has trauma. All the ex-members have trauma from that, and they didn't even know that it was trauma. They didn't even know that it was wrong because they grew up in the church and were told, no, this is what you have to do. And it was normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to have to stay in a room with an adult and listen to their child abuse stories of their own children or other children. Then there was that guy that they knew was a child predator, and he had to go to different places and work on computers all over the world, to all of them. And Scientology families would put him up in their home with their children. And the people that audited him know that he was abusing those families' children. It's called grooming. When they have them in auditor training and they're saying all these vile, disgusting, dark web things, and they have tax exempt status as a church. Thanks, Skyrider. I saw you said something really good during that. I can't remember what it was now. But there's no way I'm letting them get another child into this church or another family. I watch Miriam, and I watch Mike Brown, and I watch Laura FM, and I watch Serge. All of these adults that were children and treated this way. Thank God they got out, but they will have that with them for the rest of their lives. All right, thanks, Skyrider. Yeah, and because they're brainwashed and told by their parents, this is normal, go do this, they know it's uncomfortable. They know it feels wrong. It gives them so much trauma that they go and cry about it afterwards. But they have to do it. The pressure and the brainwashing, I mean, they have to be an auditor. They have to do the training or give the training. And then he told me, he was showing the training course, the book, and he said, you can take this course as early as 10 years old, as long as you are old enough to understand the course. 10 years old. Discussing SEX acts and terms and stuff. Adult video type stuff. And in the training you have to do it. Somebody makes a list of talking points, and they find the most vile, perverted person to make the list, and they just pick all the stuff you'd find on adult sites or in the dark web. And that's what 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds are doing in auditor training. Or as a cadet, a Sea Org cadet, they're given to an adult who's auditor training, and they have to be the guinea pig and ask all that stuff. Or if they're training, they have to say those things out of their mouth to an adult. That's not a church. That's not a religion. That's not something that makes somebody happy. They're gone now. Yeah, you can look out. I'm not going nowhere. I may be here now that I know what they're doing on Saturdays. I want everybody that walks by here to know that child abuse goes on in this building. If they have any minors in here doing auditor training, it was either Chicago, I think, one of those cities. You know, I just pop around, probably like you guys do. So I don't always watch a whole live. And I happened to jump into live, and he was talking about, you know, the highlights of what had happened that day. And they said a car pulled up, a 12-year-old got out, skipped across the road, across the sidewalk, and in the front door. Now, what do you think that 12-year-old is there for? And you know what? I'd like to see the decimal limit on this music. I'm gonna get me a decimal meter. They don't even have speakers. They got a boombox out here, or a Bluetooth speaker. They can do that, but we can't. So when a 12-year-old goes into an org, what are they there for? There's only certain things they can do at 12 years old, and auditor training is one of them. So she's skipping across the street. Her mom dropped her off so she could go talk about SA with some adult. My heart's breaking too, Fluffer Squirrel. Thanks, Christina. Yeah, and then the parents boast on their Facebook groups. Oh, my daughter got auditor training today, and she's 13. And they know exactly what went on. Oh, I'm going to talk louder than this stupid speaker. Told you I could be loud when I want to. I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm heartbroken and I'm sad that these people have to go through that. When the fire is out and you've got nothing left to burn. I have kids and I have grandkids that age. My granddaughter just turned 12. I couldn't imagine her having to do that. I can't see the chat. Sorry. And to see a grown man cry. 2 grown men cry. Because they had to put other people through that too. Thanks. Stupid song. There's nothing in this church that's happy. Nothing. Everything they do is pressure and mind wash and brainwash. Hope can live again. Yeah, whatever. What they do to these kids is disgusting. I'd never heard it put the way they did today. I hadn't gone over to Serge's channel, mainly because I probably didn't want to deal with it. I'm glad I have waterproof mascara. Yeah, Skyrider. This isn't gonna stop. We're not stopping. They think they're gonna outsmart us or mess with us enough that we're gonna quit, and we're not. And I don't blame anybody that does quit at all. It's hard. If I were getting what Liz Ferris and the Jane Does went through with the fair gaming, the evil shit that they think. I heard they poisoned their dogs, but I never did hear did any of their dogs actually die. I thought I heard one did. Just because they spoke out, they killed their dog. Yeah, I've used it for years. Voluminous. I think it's Revlon. And you can get regular or waterproof. It doesn't make huge lashes, but I can only take it off with baby oil, which actually over the years has made my wrinkles smooth because the baby oil sits there all night. All right. Yeah, I think it's either Revlon or L'Oreal. It's got a gold cap. It's black. And I'll put a picture of it on my community page when I get home. Thanks for getting my mind off it for a second. I'm really glad I got this tripod. I ordered it. It was supposed to come yesterday. I don't know why it didn't, and they said it'd be late, and I was literally pulling out of my driveway when the truck pulled up. So I stood by my truck before coming over here and figured it out. And I had it all pretty much ready to go except one section so I could walk down the sidewalk and not trip on it. one of the reasons I wanted to be this loud, I want them security guards to hear this too and know who they're working for. I try to tell them.
A free JBL speaker, look, just sitting there playing shitty music.
Oh, they're trying to, I'm mad today.
Why?
I on the way here, it takes about an hour and a half, and I was listening to some ex-members talk about auditor training, and as early as 11, 12, 13 years old, they do auditor training. And what you do is you have to sit in a room with an adult and learn, it's like an interrogation, and learn all these vile, evil, dark web stuff, and they have to say it to these adults, or if the adult is in training, and you have to not show emotion.
You're giving them
and a couple of ex-members who are adults now were talking about it on the way here, and they broke down. Yeah. Because he said, I was an adult when I was doing it, or older, and he said they gave me a cadet who was 12, and after every session she went back to her room and bawled. And he had to do it, and he hated it.
So they're creating like a PTSD of sort.
Yeah, trauma.
It's
definite trauma, yeah. And so they do. They have, a lot of the ex-members are going through a lot of trauma.
No, I know.
And it made me angry because they're out here with this happy-ass song.
Oh, no,
knowing what they're doing and training these children. Now they're trying to say, now you have to be 18 to join Sea Org. But these were Sea Cadets.
Don't believe the fucking thing they say.
Oh, I know.
18 months to join.
Yep.
All right, have a good one.
All righty. Thanks, Guy Ryder. Yeah, I'll put a picture of, when I get home, I'll take a picture of it. Oh, maybe I'm rereading something. Because I don't have the length of chat that Aaron has, it constantly, because I don't have constant chat, it fades away. And if I had touched it and paused it, I don't realize there's been more. So if you say something I miss it, that's why. Fluffer Squirrel, I see you everywhere I go. I follow you everywhere. After I leave here, I go to a live, you're there. I appreciate it. One of the things I want to do when I can figure out how to do all this stuff, I want to figure out how to go on a live stream and have call-ins so I can meet you all, so I can talk to you all. So like maybe a couple times a month when I figure out how to do it on the computer. I've done everything on my phone thus far. My phone case has a strap on it so they can't take it and run off. But I can't walk off either. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop talking about it. I'm so angry. I'm angry. I mean, who was this guy? LRH. I mean, who was he? He wrote all of this. He wrote a program for all of this. So this has been written down since at least the 70s. And they just do it because their leaders told them to do it. If they don't do it, they get in trouble. And then there's all these punishments. I watched Aaron talking about the punishments where they have to go and write out paragraphs, and then they have to go around to half of the organization and grovel and have each person sign their, I forget the name, but their punishment. That's humiliating yourself is part of the punishment. And what Aaron called it was self-brainwashing. Because you're sitting there trying to make, what you have to write down what you did, and, I forget what it was called. But I remember them having to go around to each person, and the only time you can do that because you're so busy is at mealtime. Well, nobody wants to be messed around at mealtime. That's the only time they get to relax. So then he's making them mad, interrupting them to get them to sign this piece of paper. Every time I find out more My husband said, 'cause he was still awake, kind of late this morning. I said I was putting my makeup on. I don't put makeup on to sit at home. And I said something, and he goes, "You going today?" I'm like, "Yeah, at least 3 days a week." I've been averaging Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Not Sunday's pretty dead, but then now they'll probably be trying to do this on Sunday. Definitely coming on Saturdays. And while Pearl Snappy's gone, if it wasn't for my husband needing the vehicle by a certain time in the evening, I would come later. I'm sorry, I'm moving around too much. Because they probably bring out the tables in the evening after classes are over. Target true as hell, and LRH made it there, and he's creating a place for all of them who don't get out. Jana, good thought, good thought, good thought, good thought. Or they just will, just because of the vile crap they're doing. Now here's the thing. It's hard to justify being angry at the staff in Sea Org in there that are adults, because they were put through this. They had to go through it. They were taught, they were brainwashed, they were taught to do it. They may not know right from wrong, and that's what's difficult. Hi, Susan. So that's why it's hard for me to really get angry at the people inside, because if they've been members since they were kids, they've been through this. I hope I said that right. But yeah, I'm not letting them try to be like, oh, we have this nice book. By the way, if anybody wants to call Awesome PD and complain about the music, I'm at the corner of 22nd and Guadalupe. Because I did that when they were setting up for the opening, and they had to turn it off. I wasn't the only one, a bunch of people called. Because I guarantee you, that's louder than anything we were ever allowed to do. So my next purchase is a decimal meter. But I can talk louder than that. And I can still talk about the child abuse in this building. Katie Holmes had to get her kid away from Tom Cruise because she was turning 6 and he was going to start indoctrinating her. And she was like, hell no. Yeah, I know. And they're trying to get you on a copyright strike, but they can't because it's live. Susan, yeah, it's really sad. Sorry, you have to look at my mouth. I have to use my bifocal. Born in or in at a young age. Thank you. The only problem is I don't have my Velcro is on my gimbal for my mic, but like I said, I got this tripod as I was leaving. So if anybody comes up, they're gonna have to get real close. That girl Thursday was real soft spoken, and I try to rewatch a little bit of my videos just to see how things went, and she was really hard to hear. But she was really just asking questions about what Scientology was about. Thanks, Wolf Machine. But I mean, like Aaron said, I think, you know, he had this silent knowledge that he would never put his kids in Scientology. So he knew as soon as they were gonna have kids that they were probably getting out. And that's why he was under the radar for so long. But eventually, even if they didn't find out if he was talking to anyone, he wasn't going to put his kids in. So, and I know I talk about him a lot, but I get a lot of information like that's understandable there, because that's what he likes to educate. He likes to talk about, what's going on. And like Serge coming on the scene was an eye-opener even for ex-members that had channels, because where they would skate over things and just say, oh, this was bad, he came right out and said, I was put in a hotel with other kids, with adults, doing auditor training, and hearing the most vile, disgusting things a human being could put on a piece of paper to ask about. It was shock value, I think, so they could learn to not show any emotion as an auditor, because you can't. And that's when the brainwashing, if you start that at age 12 and it's that bad, anything after that isn't as bad. And they're like, okay, this isn't as bad. We can do this. So you're brainwashed to do everything without asking questions. And if you're in here as a child, you don't know about what goes on out here in the real world. They don't know about the TV shows where somebody pretends to be a minor, texts somebody, X-rated stuff, and then they get arrested. Literally Serge, yeah. And, oh my God, it's so loud out here. I'm going to try to figure out my mics, because I think it might cancel some of the noise. I'm hoping my phone has enough noise cancellation. Wow. Yeah, this thing needs to get turned off. And just don't call 911, call dispatch. Call the main number, because this is ridiculous. But it's alright. That is not as much punishment as these kids have gone through. I can deal with it. Thanks, Susan. Yeah, but isn't that annoying to listen to? I'm sure he went through auditor training. He probably enjoyed it. I have do not disturb on. Why am I getting phone calls? Anybody that went through auditor training, I feel sorry for, unless they enjoyed it, which some of them do, from what I heard. I knew I wanted to talk about this today, but I don't know if I can stay that upset for an hour and a half. Because I don't always know what I'm going to talk about when I get here. And when I listened to Natalie, that was interesting, about how they used to, I don't remember what year that was, early 2000s, when they were making the fake phone calls. And whatever else they did the last time there were protesters. Well, they think it's going to work this time. It's not. In 22nd. And there's a church on one side. It's a Baptist church. And then Scientology. And what's funny is, how Scientology hates the gays? Let me show you real quick. Now, the reason I wanted this tripod was to put my new gimbal on it, but I didn't get to figure that out yet. But see that church right there? They have pride flags all along the side that Scientology has to look at. They're a LGBTQ church. I think it's hilarious. I think it's justice that they have to look at pride flags all the time, and they hate it. So what do you guys think about the tripod? My goal is I've already picked out a wagon, because it's the easel for my sign is kind of long. I think it's 30 inches. The sign is going to be 30 inches wide, so I needed a wagon that was at least a little over 30 inches. I've already picked one out. I just have to order it. My husband still needs to work on the sign because his days off are midweek, so he hasn't had any time. So I had to carry this time because I don't have the wagon yet. So I wonder on Saturdays, because I know people's schedules differ, would it be better for me to try to get here earlier or later? Because I know mid-Saturday, probably, because I noticed my view count is a lot lower than during the week. Sorry about it. When I shake, it's because I'm moving the tripod around. So, I was watching Natalie, and she was just bringing up, neat things going on around. What was that was it Dan Walks LA a couple days ago that was talking to somebody that knew about the black mold in these apartments they had them staying in Chicago or LA? And they had 8 people in a studio apartment. What was cool is they got some video footage of one of the windows open and they could see the bunk beds. So us being around with cameras can prove it. They're probably going to get in so much trouble for allowing that to happen. So, but they were talking about Tommy Davis when he was on CNN, and he said, oh, we don't have disconnection in Scientology, and he could barely say it because everybody knows it's true. I got a few of my regulars in here, and I've been talking about, and really, thanks. Now, this security guard, watch this. Oh, he went inside. He is standing right next to that speaker saying absolutely nothing. But if I had something like that, I wish I had a decimal meter. It's giving me a headache, so I'm sure it's more than 5 decibels. Yeah. Oh, we know. It's just, I love how it was really hard for him to get out of his mouth. And, I love it when current members and current that get a chance to watch TV see them lie. It has to be, even if they're brainwashed, it's back there that they're lying. If our religion, or not religion, they don't think it's religion. If our tech, if our church, if our organization is so great, why do they have to lie on TV to the public? They could just say, yeah, if they speak against the church and they leave the church, they have to disconnect. A lot of churches have excommunication, but they don't make you not talk to people. You either have to work your way back in, but you can't come back. That's all. You don't have to leave your family. Is there any shows y'all saw recently that you wanted to, or subject matter that I can be angry about? I'm in that mood still. But yeah, normally that's why I'm trying to make a bigger sign, because yesterday I was thinking about it and talking about it, and I have a lot of time to think driving in the car. My drive home Thursday was pretty long, and I was thinking, why am I here? Why do I come here? Why do I take time and drive as far as I do? And I'm like, because I don't want them to get any new members. I want to help current members get out, and I want them to lose their tax exempt status. So No new members is me standing here with my sign telling them it's called. Trying to get them out. If you notice, I didn't curse at them. I didn't yell at them. I just told them the facts that they know are facts. Everybody standing at that table knew what I was saying was the truth. And there's nothing they can say about it. So the big sign, part of that is so they can see the new foundation's phone number through their doors. And when they come in and out. And it's going to be right in front of their door. That may be the permanent side of my sign. And then the front, I'm going to change signs every night. I have 5 different colors. And that way I can get different, because trying to fit everything you want on a sign gets jumbled up and it's hard to read. So I'm going to have different signs. And that way each time I change the sign out is a different message. But the permanent side is going to be sptvfoundation.org and the phone number. So if they want to get out, they can call and they can get help. And then the tax exempt status is us being here. The more we're out here, the more channels there are. Somebody in Congress, somebody in the IRS, somebody's kid is going to see it on TikTok or see it on YouTube and say, hey, look at this. Why do they have tax exempt status and they're doing all this evil crap? Right. Regulator, thanks. Jane. Yeah, why lie? If you're clearing the planet, why not try to save all the souls? But they don't want to. It's funny that if you can't give them anything, if you're homeless or you need help, they don't want nothing to do with you. If you have a mental, what's it called now? Drawing a blank. But if you have autism, if you have a physical disability, they don't want you. Do you ever see anybody come out of here that's not old, that has a physical disability or, Down syndrome or autism? No, they're hidden. If they're family members, that's why you never saw John Travolta's son. He had to hide him. I'm sure that he loved his son, I hope, but I'll bet he never went to church, and he was hardly ever in public. And they're like, well, it helps you help yourself. The tech helps you help yourself, helps your life get better. Well, if the tech helps people make their lives better, then why aren't they helping vagrants on the street to get a place to live? Or why aren't they giving them the tech and the books for free? No, you got to buy the books. They're not going to give you nothing for free because they got to make their stats. That's all they care about. They got to try to sell as many books as possible so they can get a pat on the back and not get in trouble. I'm sure they're in trouble because they're not selling nothing, not with me around. As long as Pearl's gone, I'm going to see if I can try to come more often. I think what I'm going to try to do is I'll contact her and try to come later, like she does. Because I think on weekdays, that's why I haven't seen the table. Oh. Sorry, I walked away from my cane again. See if hold on, I'm going to try to hang it on the tripod. It might shake. Ooh, perfect. Awesome. Love this. I'm going to love getting the cargo wagon. Ugh. I have kind of a decent walk from where I like to park. It's cheaper. It's cheaper, but it's a longer walk. But that's okay. I need to walk. I need some exercise. As a lot of you know, my regulars, I've been pretty sick since 2010 and bedridden for 5 years. And so I just really got active in January after my pain stimulator implant healed. So this is all new to me. So I was thinking about I tried it one day at the botanical garden. After my lives, I was going to try to walk somewhere nice for 30 minutes because they have some real nice green spaces in Austin. In my neighborhood, back home, doesn't have sidewalks. And I just don't like it, walking there. But I can if in a pinch. So, just blabbing at the moment, trying to think of something I need to talk about. I like to talk about things of substance because unlike Windy City Thetan Watch, I was watching him, you know, what's nice there in a way is they have a smaller sidewalk, it's a smaller neighborhood, it's not as busy, so he kind of gets a chance to like talk to people going in and out, and he does. Yeah, baby girl, so true. Shouldn't have to lie if all is good and whatever you do includes Scientology. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be good. Thanks, Susan. Jane, thank you. Yeah, me too. And it was timing. It's a cult. Don't go in there. I missed them. A couple went in there. But she didn't look like a Scientologist. But I said, it's a cult, don't go in there. And she said, what? I kept going. I'm really a little bit too far away. Let me get closer to the door. Hold on. We're moving. We're moving. Alright. Although that puts me closer to the speaker. If it gets too annoying, guys, I'll move back for a little while. Just give you all a break. You guys can turn your volume down. I wish I could. Yeah, the reason I bring it up is people that know me know I like to teach, I like to educate, I like to help, I like to put forth information that could help other people, because you know what happened is the other day when I was getting my injection, my nurse, she's real bubbly, real nice, and I said, oh yeah, these injections is really the only thing I do for my fibromyalgia, and the floodgates opened. She just started talking about this and all this stuff she's going through, and she knows that it's fibro, and my husband just sat there going, because she was describing me, and her doctor won't diagnose her, and so she gave me her information so we could talk more about it, and I told her she needed to get with a rheumatologist, and they do a blood test, and they rule out, because they have to rule out I had tremors. They had to rule out Parkinson's and MS and all this other stuff before they can say, okay, you've got fibro. So, and then I go into another reason that, you know, I got better from that was going gluten-free, because gluten causes pain. I always like to get that across, because I know there's people out there with lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and maybe just a knee injury that hurts. When I found that out, it took me a couple years to like listen and actually do it. And when I did, I was less weak, I slept better, I was stronger, and my symptoms got better. My tremors went away. So gluten-free, and it's so much easier to do now. When I was doing it, 2013, 2014, I had to come all the way to Austin to Whole Foods to get that kind of stuff. And it does cost a little more, but it's worth it. I mean, what if it was a medicine that I needed to make me feel better, and it costs a lot, you know? So it's worth doing. And what, you know, your family can eat, you can't tell the difference. You can get spaghetti made with rice flour instead of wheat flour. You really can't tell the difference. It takes a little longer to cook. So anyway, that's why I bring it up. So if anybody else thinks they can't do things, there are ways. And if you can't, if you're just, you know, like I was, and that's how I got into this. I was bedridden and I had time, and Aaron came across my feed, and I binge watched a year's worth of videos, and then that was in 2022. And then, you know, he starts telling you about all these other channels, and I go and I watch their channels, and I've never watched the Going Clear documentary. I've never watched the Aftermath show, because I think you have to buy it on Amazon, or I I am gonna watch it someday, but to be honest, I'm watching so many people's channels on YouTube and stuff that I don't really have the time to binge watch a TV show that has 3 seasons. Have y'all been keeping up on the lawsuits for Leah Remini and the Jane Does and such? That things seem to be going well for them for the most part, at least with the motions. I don't know. I like listening to it and learning about it, but I could never repeat it. I'm like, so I like listening to the law stuff, but so the only thing about being on here, when I get my gimbal hooked on, I do want to be able to turn it left to right, because I used to pan around so you guys could see, you know, the area, so you're not just staring at this door, you know. Let's look down here for a little while. Alright, so what do we got here, guys? Yeah, the sign is going to be big. Big. So they can see it over the cars. Razor Bunny. I worked at their headquarters. The answer is yes. It's definitely a cult. Sorry for you, Razor Bunny, but I'm glad you're out. Really glad you're out. Welcome. Sorry about I'm shaking it. I'm gonna figure this out, how I can do things better. But I don't even know how to work everything on this thing yet. So, I'm working on it. I'm a newbie. I take any idea. So, I started to talk about it earlier, about my name. It's too long. And somebody mentioned SP Miss Kim. And I thought, short and simple. It's got my name in it. SP tells you what I am. I'm a suppressive person, obviously. So I was thinking about just being SP Miss Kim, because I didn't really need Austin in it, because I want to get with, there was somebody wanting to go audit the Dallas org, and I believe there's one in Houston, and I want to go with them to when they go, because everything's so far apart here, it's hard to get people together, so I want to support them. Why, poet? Awesome. You missed my rant. Did you watch Aaron and Serge earlier? But yeah, I remember, Poet, I remember when you were trying to publish your book a while back. Yeah, they're trying to drown me out with their music, but I got them to pack it up. Right on. I'm trying not to get too close and loud. Alright, we're gonna swing around this way. You sure can. You sure? Do you mind being on camera? Yeah. Alright. Because they don't let their Sea Org members leave. The ones in uniform are staff, and when their contract is up, if they try to leave, they'll coerce them to stay. And they've had people have to escape in trunks of cars, and they're kept from the outside world. A lot of times what you see here are second and third gen kids of Scientologists that joined in the 70s that wasn't quite so, it was more Dianetics, not what they do now. And so they put their kids in Sea Cadets. And we were talking about this earlier. What brought me here was the child abuse. And on the way here, I was listening to 2 ex-members talk about their training when they were either on a minor, 12, 13, 14 years old, or by a minor. And auditor training is kind of like an interrogation in a way, and it's for therapy, but not really, because they're not helping you. They're just trying to get everything out of you, and they give them a list of the most vile, disgusting things to say, because they have to learn to audit and listen to adults say these things without showing emotion. And Aaron Smith-Levin was talking about his experience as an adult. They gave him a Sea Cadet. She was like 13, and she would go ball after every session, but he had to do it. And it just made me really angry today. Usually I'm just here to talk, but I kind of had a rant earlier.
Gotcha.
Then the elder abuse. If you get too old to work, and the Sea Org, it's like their military wing. They work 80 to 100 hours a week for $47 a week, and they're not allowed outside contact, cell phones, internet, nothing. I don't even think they watch TV.
So why do you think they put this whole setup here?
To get the college kids, because L. Ron Hubbard, the leader, he bought this 55 years ago, and they only remodeled it 4 years ago because they were making the members donate the millions to remodel it and buy the buildings. And then they opened this one, and then the next month they opened one in Chicago near a college. And then they've closed, the protesters have closed down the one on Hollywood Boulevard. That was their biggest, where they could get the most foot traffic. So they tried to get a place that has a lot of foot traffic and a lot of young people.
I was wondering how they had so much money to build this.
Because you know how this got remodeled about 4 years ago? The members are pressured, and they go into debt for like tens of thousands or more dollars, and then donate it. This was actually remodeled with fraud. There was one guy who was in college and took his student loans and donated them to the church. That's illegal. So his parents found out, paid off the loans real quick. Then another guy took out, and then you got people like Tom Cruise that give $100 million. That's what they call the public. And if you don't have money, you end up being slave labor.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the lesson. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Interesting here.
A good channel to start with is called Growing Up in Scientology. He's an ex-member. These are all members that were in as kids and then got out as adults. But he explains it real well. And then from there you can find out that we're everywhere now. The protesters, we're in so many cities now. And there's so many, we call it SPTV. SP means you're a suppressive person. And this movement started last year, and it's just...
Well, I'll check it out. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That was awesome. I've been working on my land clearing project. Oh, that sounds nice. Hey, what's up?
I agree. I just want to know what you have to say.
Well, I always start off with, because I never know how fast how much time I'm gonna have somebody, so I start with what brought me here, and that was when I found out about the rampant child abuse.
That's what I said. I always say that they kill babies in here.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Sea Org, you're not allowed to have kids. They will bus you over to the abortion clinic. Because if you have a kid, you have to get out of the Sea Org. Well, the Sea Org is their military wing, and they work like 110 hours a week for $47 a week. But no, I'm talking about just kids, because they believe they've lived multiple lives, so they believe kids are adults in small bodies. And so they don't treat them like children, and there's a lot of child abuse, and stuff like that because they cover it up, because they're not allowed to go to the authorities. And if you're in your auditing session, which is like an interrogation, everybody has to have it, and you tell them you're doing this stuff to your kid, they don't do anything about it. They just write it in a report and put it in the file.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I didn't know about that.
They need to lose their tax exempt status because they're not a church.
They get their taxes for this?
Yep. That's what we're trying, because when people try to sue them, they have some lawsuits going on right now that are looking good. But a lot of times what happens is, because they're a church, there's certain protections they have. And so up until now, things didn't go anywhere, but now that we're all over social media, they don't know how to deal with it. They've lived in secrecy for 70 years. So
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
my hands
I didn't know
are-
about that.
Look it up. Growing up in Scientology, or if you can't, Mike Brown. He just got his mom out, who was in. Yes, that's what it's there for. Mike Brown. When you get too old to work for him, they just put you in an apartment with a bunch of other older people. Take out credit cards in your name, take the money, and then when you die, the credit card disappears.
That's insane.
Credit card fraud.
That's insane.
I know it doesn't sound real, but I've been deep
No, I
diving.
believe it. These people are crazy. These people are so insane.
Yeah, I've been deep diving it for over a year and a half, and it's just amazing.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening. That was awesome. Brian, I started watching it, but found it disturbing, so I use it as an excuse to find her. Yeah, I was in the car on the way here when I listened to it, and let me know if I'm talking too loud. I'm still trying to talk as loud as I was. Thanks, Jana. Jana or Jana? William. Hell yeah, another young adult immunized from Scientology. Yep, that's what we're here for. Exactly what I'm here for. All day, every day if I could. If I lived here, I'd be here every day. I really would. I could find an hour or two every day to come down here. It just kind of sucks. Let's do it. I'm just trying to give y'all different things to look at. What is in the way of the camera? What is this? What is that? Oh, I did not. There's some part. Hold on. What is that? Why is that in front of my camera? I got it. Jana Banana. That's cute. Alright. You know, I need to go look at them because I wanted to. And I kind of forgot. Okay, I've got to figure out why this is in front of my... I'm going to slide my phone, guys, so look away. I'm going to try to get that out of the way. I didn't notice it till... I got my phone almost all the way to the end. And I don't know why. It's a turn thing. So I'll have to figure that out later. Sorry about that. I'll just put the tree there. No, I want to look at the door for a little while. But yeah, I love it when people stop. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to check it out, Brian. Definitely. You know what? I'm going to take a drink real quick. And then... It's called All About Scientology. Put that in the search bar. And the first thing to come up is my book. Alright, thanks. Everybody take note. Woo! Sorry about that. My sign just hit, the wind caught it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm very worried about when my camera shakes because I get motion sickness super easy. Really easy. But yeah. If I ever feel like I'm having a day where I don't think I can get in the car and come here, I'm just going to remember that discussion with Serge. I need to go over and watch more of Serge. I think I've kind of shied away from it a little bit. You may need to put phone camera on other side, but next time... No, I'm not going to do it now. That would be a mess. Yeah, like I said, I got this. I was supposed to come yesterday. For whatever reason, it didn't ship out. And it said I was in the truck about to pull out of the driveway when the delivery van pulled up. So I literally opened the box when I got here and tried to figure out how to use it. But this is real nice because I'm not holding that gimbal, that heavy gimbal, and my sign. So I can seriously. I think a lot of them are just like, let's go see what this is. My husband wanted to try one day. He kind of sat far away so that they didn't know he was with me. And I'm like, you can go in if you want to. I said, but somebody gave me their pamphlet, and all it is these stations. Don't go in, it's a cult. All they want's your money. They're gonna want money. Yeah, as soon as they want freaking $30 for a book. I'm gonna try to find a used Dianetics book. I wanna read it. Just to see, because that's what got a lot of these parents and grandparents in that are putting their kids in now. So I am going to read it, but I don't want to give them my money. I want to buy it used so they don't get money for it. I'm sure I can find it on eBay or something. But yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that most. Let me turn around for a minute. I'm really happy with the fact that most people that come by, they know something about Scientology. They know that it's not right. Really? Hey, Carrie Ann. Really? Because I'd heard some people say, it's free to go in, but you must pay to leave. Puff Dragon. That's true. Yep. That's why I tried to yell what I could. Because as soon as they start asking for money, they're going to know I'm right. SBTVFoundation.org. They'll help you. He should be retired. Not working here 100 hours a week. I feel sorry for him. Especially, I try not to get, like I said earlier, I try not to get too angry with the staff and stuff because, many of them grew up in it and don't know better and don't know any different. They know something's wrong. They don't know how to get out. I mean, how many of the ex-members look how long it took them to get out. They knew early on, something's not right, but they don't know how to get out. But what's nice now is staff has cell phones, and they can leave, and they can look up these channels and see what's really going on. And that's what we're here for. We're here for this. And in my new sign, so I've got all this. This is what I try to get people to take a picture of. Yep. Yeah, I know. They packed up their stuff. They were all set up with their Dianetics books and their e-meter, and I was already fired up. I started talking about auditing and the vile crap they do, and they thought they were going to sit there because the hits. I forgot her name. But the other girl from Leander, she was here. There was 2 people here, and they were still up when I walked up, and I'm like, it was perfect because I didn't want to just be upset at a building. I got to be upset and say things they needed to hear about the auditor training and the vile crap that they do to minors. Which, if you did that out here, you'd be in prison. All these people that do it should be in prison. David Miscavige should be in prison. I know. Sandy Lee, it's hard to get out if you have to leave your family. Yeah, it is. I couldn't imagine that. Pup groomer, hi. I'm going to leave you playing while I do my hair. These roots desperately need attention. I know, me too. My roots are like, I was saying that today, I need to color my hair. Yep, they did pack up because I wasn't going to shut up. And they didn't want to hear what I had to say because they have to admit that I'm right. Yeah, Jana. I know, everything happens for a reason. I agree. Because normally, I'm pretty usually in a good mood, and I just want to talk to people and educate and stuff. I'm not here to just, you know. And then I got madder when I saw the table out, because that's the first time I've seen them outside. Because I was like, usually they don't even have a body router out here on weekdays. I think they're not putting the table out during the day because everybody's kind of in a hurry going to classes and stuff. So most likely they're putting it out in the evening time. So I'm going to try a couple times to try to get out here in the evening and see how that goes. But during the day I do get, you know, some students and stuff to talk to. There are a lot of people that stop here. And that's the good thing. It's the difference between like in Denver and like Chicago and stuff. They're in this small area and they get to talk to actual Scientologists that are actually going in and out. I never see them. I wonder sometimes, there's a side door with stairs and of course there's the back. I wonder if actual SPTVfoundation.org. Hi.
How you doing? Why do you
Because a cult doesn't let you leave. And they don't let their Sea Org members leave. They sign a billion-year contract because they believe they live multiple lives. And they work them about 100 hours a week for $47 a week. If they've made money. If they didn't, they don't even get that.
Yeah, the lady was telling me she's volunteer. God actually,
I can't hear him over that.
Jesus actually believed that they don't talk about that in the Bible, which is part of the Gnostic gospel and stuff like that. But Jesus
Well, that's not so bad of a thought, except because of that, they don't treat their children like children. Because they're like, well, you could have been an 80-year-old man in your last life. There's a lot of child abuse. That's what brought me here, was the child abuse. And that's the problem. What they do with their children, how they train them in auditing. And I listened to some ex-members on the way here, and I got really upset. I was all fired up because when they're 12, 13, and 14, they're being trained to be an auditor, the only way I could describe it is something between a therapist and an interrogator. And they have to learn to mask their emotions. So they find the most vile, evil, disgusting stuff to say to them when they're minors. If the police ever found out, they'd be in prison.
So I'm saying, how do you have this particular information? I've never heard anything like that.
Because there's about 50 or 60 ex-members that are on YouTube talking about their experiences. And then there's another 80 of us, protesters. Some of us are never in, some of them are ex-members. All of these people were put in as children and indoctrinated and went through it all and then got out as adults. Mike Brown, growing up Scientology is a really good one if you remember. Serge Del Mar, he was the one I was listening to him, and he said, as a minor, he had to sit in a hotel room, because they have a hotel in Clearwater, Florida, to do auditor training, even after training, he had to audit this man that was abusing his child. And he had to sit there, and you can't leave. You can't leave an auditing session. And he had to sit there and listen to everything this guy said until he was done. More than once. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're not allowed to go to the police. You just file it in a report. It goes in their file. And that's what's coming out now. They've lived in secrecy since L. Ron Hubbard started it around the 50s. Got a lot of people in the 70s. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of the second and third generation. They're not getting many new members because it's out there. What I'm really here for is to keep them from getting, some naive young person. They opened your college on purpose. I'm about to have a bigger sign. There's an organization that'll help them get out, help them get an apartment, a job. A lot of times they don't have a high school diploma because they pulled them out when they were 12. to put them to work.
What is that organization?
SPTVfoundation.org.
No, so as far as helping housing and anything like that.
What do you mean? What do they
Saying
do?
Help them, you said it helps them get a job.
Yeah, if you
helps them
escape
get
from
housing and
Scientology,
stuff like that.
they will help you. People donate, and then they use the money. Somebody is trying to escape. There's volunteers that'll help them go pick them up at the airport. They'll help them get an apartment, a GED, a job, a car. Because when they come out, they don't know that stuff. If they've been in since they were a kid, they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to deal with a checkbook, and they have no work experience they can put down. Once they have a network of volunteers that'll help them get a job, stuff like that. Like all of these people, none of them got a high school diploma.
Well, there's like a lot of people are celebrities and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
Not as many as there used to be.
I'm pretty sure like the kids are going to school.
Those are public, and some public, but they do indoctrinate them. And I know, like Tom Cruise's first two kids, they were indoctrinated into Scientology, and his son I know was in the Sea Org for a while, and they went through all of this, and that's why Katie Holmes left when she did, because their daughter was about to turn 6, and that's when it started, and she didn't want her daughter involved. But Leah Remini came out. She's the one that really started all of this. She came out and wrote a book, and she went through a lot. They say they call it fair gaming. They will attack you. They will hire private investigators. They will go through your trash. They will call your employer. The Danny Masterson trial, they poisoned the witness's dog.
So where would all this money come from?
Because they don't have anything expensive, and all the publics that, like Tom Cruise and Grant Cardone and all these bigwigs, donated tens of millions of dollars. Sometimes there's a couple $100 million, and they don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pay the people, so their money just sits there, and they didn't even pay for this. They made the members fundraise. That's why it took 4 years to even open it. It started in the early 2000s. It took them 20 years to earn the money to renovate this. It's been owned for 55 years. And what they do is they take out credit cards and go into debt to donate to the organization, because they're pressured and coerced, and you get a big pat on the back when you do it. So, do a deep dive. Miss Kim, that's what I am online. Miss Kim. Well, thank you for listening. That was cool. Good questions. Really good questions. I hope you could hear them. I tried to get them to come closer. All right. I know you guys are always trying to tell me, say this, say this, say this, and I forget to look. Sandy Lee's. I'm like that in the chat too, Sandy. She's trying to do her nails, but she wants to say stuff and type. I know. Me too. I'm when I'm driving and I'm watching, I'm like, I can't say anything. Hi, Lorraine Barrett. William. I hadn't actually heard the full Scientology music in detail without it being through noise canceling. I'm dying of cringe right now. I know. It's actually not that bad, but we know the real deal, so it's kind of icky. If I actually listen, there was one song there, it was all happy and crap when I was talking about child abuse. Yeah, I do like coming on Saturdays too, because this is the most people have stopped and talked to me in such a short time in a while. So that's awesome. Yeah, I heard Aaron talk about the soundtrack. I wonder if they're going to try to copyright strike me. There goes my sign again. That's why it's shaking. I leaned it against me and the wind catches it. I can't wait to get my new sign. Oh my god. And then I don't have to carry this backpack either. I'm getting a really nice fold up wagon. Put everything in. Jessica Blue, anything nerdy? Hi. I can hear him even though the crappy music. Okay, good. He was really soft-spoken. I'm gonna have to get those mics. Because I believe they noise cancel a little bit, and then maybe I can... I know I talk about Aaron a lot, just because that was the first person I found who I deep dived on, who I learned the most from, and he encouraged people to protest. And he said, he always tries to give us tidbits of knowledge on how to live stream and stuff. And he said audio is more important than video. So I did get some mics. I just need to make sure I know how to use them right. I didn't want to just do it on the fly. So I'll work on that. And he said to put one on Velcro on the gimbal and wear one. With the mic I probably would have to wear one. My mic and the phone wouldn't be working. So I'll try to work on that. I'm getting better with everything. I got ideas. I just bought this goldenrod color shirt on purpose. I might write something on it. I got some army green shirts. I'm gonna write Xenu's Army on. I'll be curious to see if anybody that's hit the OT3 notices. Oh, we got some serious Texans here, guys. Oh, almost missed it. The cowboy boots, the dresses and the hats and the hair. Oh, I love big Texas hair. Oh, wait. Hold on, go back. SBTVFoundation.org. They'll help you get out. It'll sit in their brain. Oh, here's some more. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll help you get out or help you get your kids out. I need to come up with something a little better because they were older in a public. What do I say to a public? I know what to say to somebody who's in. What do I say to a public? Something I'll have to think. I don't see very many public. Saturday's a good day to come. Ruth. Ah, Canada. Ruth from Canada. Yep, happy Easter. There's going to be some people in bunny outfits in LA, I believe. Jessica Blue. I started listening to Leah Remini about Scientology before the Aftermath Foundation. Aaron is a great resource, and he usually mentions other creators. Yeah, and that's something I have really enjoyed about this community, is that everybody encourages everybody else. You can take a clip of somebody else's thing, nobody cares. You can do whatever you want with it, and talk about it, and there's some channels that's what they do. They SPTVFoundation.org. No group this big is going to be perfect ever. You're gonna have people that try to take advantage or just don't meld well, and you just kind of move. Those are just people I don't listen to anymore, and I listen to the people that are actually doing good. I have to hit it twice. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll help you go into retirement in a real nice place. Poor man. Can you believe he's still working? What is he, like 80? SPTVFoundation.org. I'm going to keep it turned around. There's a lot of traffic. Anyway, the community. That's why I'm a part of it, because you want to be a part of something good. And the chat is always, and I've said this in my lives before. Some of you heard me say this exact same thing. But in order to even be here for more than 5 minutes, you have to have compassion, you have to have a heart, you have to have empathy. And so, that just makes a good community. I mean, hateful people aren't going to come in here. SPTVFoundation.org. I know nothing. Oh, Scientology is having an egg hunt tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. I miss my grandkids. They moved to California. We used to do it in our yard every year. But this community, I mean, everybody supports everybody else. Nobody's ego gets in the way. Everybody wants to try to help everybody else's channel grow. I mean, it's not taken away from anybody. I mean, I watch so many different channels but I still watch the original creators that said, hey, go see this channel. And that's what makes SPTV such a great community, because it's full of people with hearts, people that care, people that take their time to listen to some grandma from Texas that hasn't done anything that spectacular with my life, and you're here listening to me. I mean, that says a lot about anybody that goes to these small channels and listens to us. I don't even care if you turn it on and don't listen and just let it play. I do that a lot too when I'm busy. Watch out for the Halton Regional Police Force. Y'all are talking. That's cool. But yeah. Oh man, they got a lot of traffic today. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll give you a place to retire to. You won't have to work 80 hours a week. They should be retired playing with grandkids like I was doing. And I'm not even as old as him. Oh, there's another one. I hope anybody that's looking for him finds my feed. I might put that in the title because I've seen a lot of people today. It's a lot more than usual. So, SPTV is just an awesome community. And we have a purpose. We have a purpose. Hi! Just got a TR book. I wonder if you bought it. Funny. Jessica, no problem. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I saw a short video that KK did with Pearl Snappy and said, what would be your recommendation for somebody starting a new channel? And she said, have a sign. That gets their interest and gets them to come talk to you and want to know more. When I originally started, I didn't even think I would ever have a live channel. I just thought, I'm just going to come down and I'm just going to... I even told Pearl Snappy, I said, I'll hold your camera. I don't want to be on camera. And she had a tripod, right away, so she didn't need that. Luckily, though, at the time when they called the cops and when that older guy got in her face, so I got a few things, and then I was like, I didn't even know what I needed to do to go live, and I found out it was only 50 subscribers, so Aaron put me on his channel, then I got 100, and then I'm 1,000 now. I can't believe it. I didn't care about that. You know, I'm mainly, I'm glad y'all are watching. I'm glad this gets out. I'm glad other people can see it, but I'm mainly here for on the ground right here, so people can come up and ask more. Because like a lot of people that stop, they're like, well, I know it's not right, but what is it? Why is it a cult? Because if you guys notice, some of you already know, it says Scientology is a cult, ask me why, on both sides. And they do. That's all I have on there, and the little list of channels. But my big sign is just going to be cool. Susan, where'd you find out about me? Was that Aaron or when Pearl Snappy put me on? But yeah, I'm thinking about... Oh, okay. Yeah, that was totally awesome. Because I had the 50 I needed right then, that night. And then I still didn't know exactly what to do. And I was over there when they were setting up, and these college boys stopped and we were talking. And he showed me, do this, now you're live. I was like, holy crap. Spring chicken. Thank you. She said, wishing you and all the rest of the brave folks who stand against this cult all the best. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate that. Jessica, yeah, Pearl Snappy. I was worried. I didn't know if you went below 50, if you had to stop streaming, or if once you got 50 you were good, and whether it went up or down. Well, I lost like 3. I had like 59 and then went to 56, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I asked Pearl Snappy to put me on. Oh, and then they both put me on. They were together one time and said, yeah, Miss Kim's down there too. And that really took off my subscribers. Lavender. It would be awesome if somebody got a sign just like the free personality test and set it right beside their sign, and it should say SPTV Foundation and the number. Well, Lavender, my husband is helping me make a new sign that's going to be huge, the size of a normal piece of poster board. And I got this tripod, so it's going to be above me, and the permanent side is going to have the foundation number on it towards the org, and then the other side I've got 4 other colors, and I'm going to have different interchangeable signs on Velcro, and that's why I need a cargo wagon to bring it here. But he's not done. He's got to use a heat gun and like mold the PVC pipe to the tripod so I can make it taller and connect the sign. So his weekend is around Wednesday, so he hasn't been able to work on it. Oh, going in. Awesome. Kim, in Toronto, what's her channel? Awesome. Yeah, I turned 55 this last month. I was Nerd Report. I was actually a follower of Popcorn Planet before this, and I've never been any kind of type of groupie, but I actually flew out to Vegas to meet them. So I don't know if you've seen Lewis on Nerd Report. He's been out there filming the LA people. Well, I flew out to Vegas and I met him and the other people of that community. And then I happened to be in LA in Southern California visiting my new grandbaby when one of their members is from England. And she was going to fly in, and I extended my week and did another meetup with Lewis and them. And they did karaoke. I just watched. Then Andy happened to be in Houston the second week I started protesting, and I drove to Houston. So that's why, yeah. So he knew me. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll help you find somewhere you could retire. You don't have to work anymore. believe he's Sea Org. They'll help you with an apartment, a car. You don't have to work this many hours anymore. You can enjoy yourself. sptvfoundation.org. Yeah, that's when I started. Jessica was, I looked all around during Johnny Depp. I didn't find him till like the second or third week. But all anybody was doing was like, oh, did you see what happened today? When Popcorn Planet was talking about what happened, had lawyers on, and was talking about it and discussing it. And after that, you know, he's another one like Aaron. And, you know, he's puts it out there. He's pretty honest about things that in his past and things like that, and I respect that. And you know, they're all a lot of fun. And then when Andy on Popcorn Planet had Aaron on, I was like, oh my gosh, my two communities have crossed over. That is awesome. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole trial. I couldn't do it. So I let Popcorn Planet watch it and then recap it. And, you know, I did watch, like, the days of their testimony. But mainly, it was the recapping. My eyes would have crossed if I'd have watched the whole thing. But before that, I'd never really watched YouTube. I really didn't. I wasn't interested. I've never had TikTok on my phone. I'm more of a TV watcher. And that is what got me into liking YouTube and realizing that I'm getting better unbiased news and honest news on YouTube from creators than I am from the mainstream media. The mainstream media isn't talking about this. Remember when they did the interview of Danny and LA Cam? I think it was them too. And then they just skewed it completely. sptvfoundation.org. They'll help you get out and have a life. I gotta find something better to say to the older ones. Because they're probably staff. So they probably have an apartment or they're living somewhere. But at least I'm putting hey girl. Yeah, my husband almost has my new sign ready, and then I'll let you have this. But yeah, this came in the mail. It got delivered as I was pulling out of my driveway. So I'm not even sure how to work it. Yeah, I just realized that. Well, I'm getting a cargo wagon like Pearl Snappy has. Man, this backpack is heavy today. Lot of traffic, and I've had a lot of people stop and talk. I just been yelling the foundation at him. I don't know what else to say. I had a Sea Org member here because he had that thing on his collar. Yeah, I've seen that, and I'm pretty sure that they know. They're just going in there to see. So I'm not too worried. That's funny. It's a cult. Don't go in. They're gonna want your money. I need to back up when I'm yelling so you guys don't have to hear it. I know I'm loud. What we got? News from YouTube creators. Kylo Ren. Hey, what's up? D Savage. Are you not able to interact with them outside or talk to people coming and going from the building? I mean, I can, but right now the music is so loud and I'm not used to this much traffic, to be honest with you. So I've got to come up with a better spiel because I'm not used to seeing anybody. So I've just been yelling out the foundation at them. Because they have security, I think I could talk to them, but I probably need to do it at a distance. That interview after Danny and Cam were arrested was really frustrating. They completely edited the video. Yeah, and they which one of them businesses said they were afraid of the protesters when they're all going in there buying ice cream? Come on. Thanks, Fluffer Squirrel. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen more traffic today than I normally do. So I think Saturday is gonna have to be my day. It usually is anyway, but they were set up, they had their table out, they had their Dianetics book, they had their e-meter. And I tried to stay as close to the table. I didn't walk away. I was gonna mess up their table. So they thought they stood there for a while, thought I was, so I was a customer, so that's what I heard. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Man, they got a lot of people in there. I'm gonna watch this. Look at that. There's like a crowd. That's another reason I wanted the tripod and my gimbal, because it has a wheel that helps you focus. Damn, a lot of people in there. I wonder why. I've never seen that many Sea Org. Something's going on. I have seen so many staff. I say Sea Org. What I just mean is in uniform, most likely. There's a lot of staff in there today. What is going on besides Easter? No! Remember they were going to show the LRH birthday thing today. Right? The 30th? That's what it is. Alright. Yeah, Jessica. Oh, wait. Ruth. Yeah, thanks, Ruth. That's what I do. I'm like, as long as I get something out, I'm happy. The youngins are giving me some ideas, though. Heard it was one of the people from La Poupe. Yeah, I know. They skewed that so bad. That's why I've been trying to tell people to be keyboard warriors and contact their local news. We know the news around the orgs, especially in LA, they don't want to say anything bad about the LAPD. So, but maybe an Austin paper will talk about what LAPD is doing and all the false calls and all the arrests and all the bull crap. Did they already do the birthday celebration? Okay, so they were doing something on it like that following Saturday after his birthday, because I was here, and as I was leaving, people were coming in with trays of food and stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I could stay longer. But then they filmed the LRH birthday. This is what I heard. And then they're showing it to the orgs today. So they're watching like whatever David Miscavige did, whatever celebration they filmed. D Savage, thanks. Lisa's day off. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm headed down to Portland now. Okay, well, I'll be listening to you. Let's all go to, when I'm done, go over to Lisa's day off. I listened to you the last time on my way home. So I try to pick something with my earbud and listen, because it's an hour. Well, I got here too early. I don't know if y'all noticed. I try to add 45 minutes to when I think I'm going to get here. So an hour and a half. Then I add 45 minutes, give me time to park, walk, do my pit stop, get ready. Wow, it's way too early. Traffic was good today. But on the way home, later on in the day, it's usually worse. Anyway, I at least have an hour and a half I need to listen. So they're going to hear how much they are growing. Yeah, all these new churches they just opened that they've owned for 55 years. Yeah, it's a new church. Yay. It amazes me how anybody can be brainwashed. It's hard to see in there. I wish I had a better camera. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be nice. Lorraine, I'm gonna be nice. I stay cordial until somebody's not. So as long as they're cordial, I'm cordial. And they pretty much said the same thing. Yeah, Lisa, put your channel in there. Because I'm getting close to 2 hours. But if I, oh, see, look. SPTVfoundation.org. They're doing the celebration. This stupid, watch. Little speaker right there. They don't even have speakers on their building at work. Sorry about that, guys. It was easier to just pick it up and show you. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this. There we go. Okay, we're gonna see a lot of traffic. So the only reason I've been staying as far back as I am is I didn't want to be right on top. I'm gonna go over here. Don't put your kids in the Sea Org or staff. They need to have a real life. SPTVfoundation.org. You know what they're doing today, right? They're showing the recorded event. Because they already did this once. I saw them coming in with food on looking for the 15th or 16th, whatever Saturday. SPTVfoundation.org. Oh, I'm staying. Good. My new sign will have it. I gotta take my backpack off, y'all. Ooh, that's heavy. I love having this tripod. I don't have to shake the camera everywhere every time I want to move. Oh. And it's supposed to be 80 right now. And I was like, man, I should have wore capris, but it's fairly shady right here, which is nice. SPTVfoundation.org. They'll help you get out, get a job. You only have to work 40 hours a week in the real world, and you make more money. And an apartment, a GED if you need it, yes, a car. It's fun. We're having fun. Is that Brandon? Landon. Oh. I thought I saw other petas in the window reflection. You did. Hold on. What's y'all's first name? Trisha? Pitzel. Yeah, I go by Miss Kim. Say hi. Good sign. Mike Brown is a good one. And she's got the flyers that I have posted. So, yeah, anybody that today is a protester, they need to go. That's why I'm seeing so much traffic. I noticed. SPTVfoundation.org. I wasn't sure if they were going in or not. Yeah, I forgot to contact you. I was passing the Leander sign, and I was like, crap. I was supposed to check to see if you were going to be here. Just call me on the phone. Because my memory is Swiss cheese. It really is. My fibro makes my memory bad. But I was bad before with names and stuff. So I have to keep a notebook to remember things. I'm always walking out forgetting something. My water bottle, my hat, my earbuds. So I have to go through the list. One day I got halfway here from my car and didn't have my sign. It was in the car. I know. I hate the number of children that are going in there. Yeah, auditor training is just horrible. And those kids will probably be put in when they get a little older, and they're probably going to go through that awful training. They said they picked the most vile, evil, dark web type stuff to tell 12 and 13-year-olds, and if they don't understand it, they have to explain it. And I can't even say, because I would get arrested if I said what they were talking about. Did you watch Aaron today? I was listening to it on the way in, and him and Serge, Aaron got real upset, and they were really saying, they were saying stuff I've never said in my life. And they're saying this to kids. Yeah. And that I was just so angry when I got here. Just so angry. Yeah, if you ever get here and they're set up, let me know. If I need to leave early or come on a day I'm not going to, I'll come. Well, I got close and loud, so they thought I was going to give up. They didn't pack it up right away, but I was fired up today. I got to listen to more of Serge's stuff. I'm going to make some business-sized cards with the foundation, something small that somebody can sit in their pocket. So what I'm going to do, you guys, let me show that. So this is what were giving out. So get rid of your reactive mind. And I didn't know the Dianetics books were so big. I thought that was a little paperback, and these were novel size. And because he's paid by them. He's he's working security for them, and they pay him. Well, I think he approves of the paycheck. What? Yeah, no, it was pink and it folded up. But I found a better one and cheaper on Amazon that I'm gonna get. Me and that cane had been through quite a lot, but this one I've had the longest. When I first got sick, my son bought this one for me, so I'm worried about it. Okay, you know, I've talked to him, and he was one of the reasons I was being so loud. I wanted him to hear everything I said. But if they're paying triple rate, he doesn't care. Or if he cares, he doesn't care enough. I cried. My heart broke for Serge and Aaron. Me too. I was crying. I called my husband and told him he was still kind of in and out, falling asleep. I said, if you're still awake, you need to watch Aaron right now. I don't know if he did. You were with DOA when he was swatted. Sandy Lee, were you? I'll give you my email. I know a little bit about him because we actually talked during the day of the opening, but that's just, frivolous stuff. Like, he was stationed at Fort Hood. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I did find that out. So, yeah, Mr. Mark, the older guy, he was with the LA County Sheriff. And that's why he knows so much about what goes on in LA. I don't know what brought him here. I never did find that out. But I believe he's a reserve officer now. I have the card at home. I will put it in my description when I get home. Just a watcher from up north. Oh, okay. Sandy. I was like, yeah, you were out there? But yeah, that's why I'm seeing so many. Let me center the door more. You guys, did I go off for a second? Sometimes two things happen. Either my connection or if I'm getting close to using all my data. I talked to AT&T. I'm backing up a little bit so we can see people come up easier. I'll let you know when somebody's coming if I see them. They're mostly coming from the left because I think there's parking behind here. And see, look here. If you go, you have to go all the way down to the pizza, like 2 blocks to come from that way. So everybody comes from the left. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Nope, you're still streaming. Yeah, because it said something like was back live, so I didn't know if it went off on you guys. Yeah, there is so many people in the community, and I suck at names. I'm like, Yeah, kids cannot consent. You're right. I need to say that. Good one. I need to write that list down and laminate it like I talked about. Put it around my neck. That must be why they've got the music out too for the celebration. See about it. But if you guys are curious about security and what they can and can't do, my husband's in security, and we did a live interview where people could ask questions, and he explains why they look official, but I guarantee you their patch and their badge says security. They're not, even if they're law enforcement regularly, they have, when they're doing security duties, and the LAPD, most likely they are too, even though they look official. I don't think they're, I don't know what makes them allowed to wear their uniform when they're doing security. So maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Look close next time you see them out. I'm spreading the word where I can. I will have the channel up and running next month. I hope. I'm working on it. Sandy Lee, awesome. Let us know. We'll subscribe and we'll pass it on. When I get done, I usually add my email and stuff to the description, or just put your channel when you have it in the comments. I'll plug it. It's what that's what we do in this community. Everybody plugs everybody else, and that's what I like about it. There's too much strife in the world right now. We don't need it. This puts things in perspective. Knowing what goes on behind these doors, behind these blinds that they close, kind of puts things in perspective, you know? When I think I'm having a bad day, I think this is much bigger. Or when we have people in the community, or just, you know, just somebody in the chat or whatever being rude. You know, it's bigger than that. They don't get to me. Trolls don't get to me. It's funny. One guy said I needed Weight Watchers, and I answer them. And one guy said I needed the dentist, and I said, yeah, I know. I said I started drinking cold brew about 6 or 8 months ago and did not realize how much that stuff stains. Because I buy it. It's STO stock cold brew at the store. And I was like, holy. So, yeah, that was the biggest reason I didn't want to be on camera. But I don't care. I'm not here to win Miss Universe. When you get, yeah. We'll support you, Sandy. Thank you. I have a lot of info. My dad was OPP and part of the investigation in Ontario. So I have all of his notes. I will do an interview with him as well in the near future. Sandy, that sounds really awesome. We all like to get information like that from, you know, people that were, you know, were there. The TO org together with our signs and our wits. Former member of the RHLI 1978, Semper Paratus. Es una secta. Spanish for Issachar. Es una secta. I wondered what they were saying. I knew it was like that, but I wanted to make sure I got it right. Es una secta. You know, we have, for Texas, we have a lot of Spanish. Yeah. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll help you get out. Did anybody call for me about the speaker yet? I would call, but I'm live. If you want to, I'll give you where I'm at. Because the day of the opening, or not the opening, when they were setting up, I called, a bunch of people called, and they had to turn it off. They should have to turn it down. Yeah, Sandy, I can't wait for you to get your channel. That sounds really interesting. Normally I'd log off about now. Standing still, I'm fine. As soon as I start walking, that's the issue. But they're having so much traffic today that I'm going to stick around for a little while longer. So, until it's Saturday, so usually I have to leave by 4:30 because, oh my goodness, traffic is so bad. I had to stop taking the toll roads because my husband was like, I keep getting these toll bills, and I don't know, there's too many of them. So if it's not going to save me more than 10 minutes, I just stay on the regular route. But yeah, my husband really put it in perspective, what they have to do. Actually, I don't know. It looks like the traffic kind of slowed down. Maybe they're all in there now. What time is it? It's 4:09. Maybe they had to be there by 4, because I think the traffic kind of slowed. I was sticking around to see if there was any more traffic going in and out, but it seems like it's slowing down. RHLI stands for Royal Hamilton Light Infantry, ma'am. Awesome. That's awesome. My husband was in a light infantry battalion, but he was actually in support, so he drove a truck for them. He was just assigned. He was a fueler. Clear cognition. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. Oh. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah, it still failed. Door tech fell. Ooh, it's getting windy. When I checked the weather, I knew it was going to be windy. My son is military out of Petawawa. I hope I said that right. SPTVfoundation.org. Ooh, I had to stretch. Yep. Thanks for that, Jessica. I'm not good at remembering stuff like that. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it. I hope I can remember that because I was reading it. Coffin Dodger alert. Tim. Bruce. Support company, awesome. At CFB Borden, the support battalion wore t-shirts that read, if you got it, we brought it. Yeah. My husband, even though he was a fueler, he had to take ammo and food and just everything. They were like kind of they got all the crap details. But luckily he didn't really have to sleep on the ground. He always had a vehicle. It's just when they went into Iraq for the first time and he was in a convoy driving a tanker truck. That was stressful. They like to blow those up. But medics wore tees that read, medics make it better or we bury our mistakes. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. I'm going to go back to my live chat later and copy those down or show my husband. He would die. That was good. I'm losing steam a little bit, I think, guys. I'm going to hang for a few more minutes to see if I can. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. Did I say it right? That's dark and hilarious. Yeah. I did that from memory. I hope I got it right. I'm still irritated about this music. They put a decimal limit on us, but not them. It's okay, I'm loud. I don't think we have too many quiet protesters, do we? There's probably a few I haven't seen yet. There was somebody in Denver that gave me the idea for the sign. She had this huge sign with this like huge star attached to the top. And she was talking about making the handle to it come apart. So I think she could stand it on the ground. And that's what gave me the idea for mine. Thanks. So I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. I never said it before because I knew I would get it wrong. That's probably something I'll put on the cards when I get it ready. You know what's cool? The music is actually getting people's attention, and then they see me and the other girls. So then they're like, okay, what is this music and why are you here? So to me, it's just helping me get attention. Thanks, Jessica. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind. This is what I can get. I'm mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. Yep. Yep. February. If you want to know, I'll tell you. So how do people get into it? I'll tell you that most of these, L. Ron Hubbard created it in the 50s. He had a book out. He was a science fiction writer. Yeah. So he got a lot of people in the 70s during free love and stuff. So now what you're seeing is second and third generation that have pretty much been forced into being indoctrinated and being members because they're not growing, getting new members because too many people know what they are. And the reason I'm here, and so that's why we're yelling about this foundation, because they were created just to help them escape Scientology. And the ones you see in uniform, if they don't have the thing on their collar, they're staff, but they have to work a second job because they don't get paid enough here working 80 and 100 hours a week. Slave labor. Sea Org gets $47 a week if they make money in the org. Sometimes they don't get that, and they're put in at like age 12. They're taken out of school.
So
they don't
that's how they're gaining followers. Not kind of like someone like me that just walks in there. That's not their ideal
really.
Target.
No, it is originally when he bought this building 55 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
Oh, you had to start there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did it on purpose because it was near the college, and Chicago just opened, and they're near the college.
That's what
but they didn't have social media back then, or people like us. And so what they do is they had a table set up with their books and stuff, and they call them body routers, and they try to get you in. But they're not growing, they're shrinking. But I'm here to try to educate the public that doesn't know. And my new sign is going to have the foundation on it to help them know that they can escape.
Good. I mean, everything that I've heard is effing crazy.
It's true though. That's what's
like. That like
you think it's too crazy, and then all these people, ex-members that were put in as kids, are out with channels now talking about it, and you can't believe what they're saying. On the way here, I was listening to two of them, and they said when they're 12 and 13 and 14, they're being trained as auditors, and it's what we would call like a cross between therapy and interrogation, and they find the worst vile. Oh, yeah. Oh, she got these from Pup Groomer's channel. Awesome. I need to. Okay, good. Awesome. So, vile X-rays and stuff I couldn't even say on the street because they'd probably arrest me.
Yeah.
And they're saying this to children because they have to learn to deal with it. And these kids aren't consenting to do this. They're too young to consent. Their parents are putting them in.
Yeah.
So they're coming out. All these people are coming out with trauma.
Oh yeah.
Just messed up. So we're trying to get their tax exempt status taken away because they're protected by it as a church. Oh, well, we do this because we're a church. They're volunteers. They're religious volunteers.
It's just hard because anyone. So hard, but
We're trying.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for stopping.
Yeah, Miss Kim, we're gonna head out now.
I think I am soon too.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to also. Looks like the traffic's kind of slowed down. Guys, I'm gonna thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. She gave me a whole bunch to give out. So that's neat. Oh, let me show.
Good one, bye. Good luck.
And she's gonna hang these up. Check this out. So that's awesome. Pup Groomer, thank you. Pup Groomer 20. She has a channel and a page, and I love all the keyboard warriors that, you know, are doing stuff like this. This is awesome. I just don't have my printer's not even working right now, so that's awesome. So I can give these out. Thank you so much for doing that for me. I'll definitely be giving them out. The only reason I didn't get close today was because the music is so loud. If that's not here all the time, I'm going to get up closer and try to give those out. It's a chain reaction. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'll see you beginning of the week. I don't come on Sundays anymore because it's so dead. I like to come when there's a lot of people. Thanks for hanging with me. Peace out.
You may have a bad day, well,